Hey everyone, I'm Daniela from the implementation team here at Pipefy, and in this video I'll show how you can work with the email template feature. So basically this feature allows you to have an email that you send very often already built inside Pipefy, and also bringing some dynamic content you already filled in inside the card while you were working your process. You can also trigger that automatically depending on the card's movement throughout the process. So just a few examples to make it easier to understand. You can use that to confirm we received a card. It's very used for ticketing processes. So whenever someone from outside your company creates a request for you through a public form or a public link, that will create a card inside Pipefy for you or for your team. So as soon this card is created, this person who created the request can receive an email letting them know that we did receive the request and we're going to start working on it pretty soon. And as the process goes, they can receive updates about it as well. So this is also very used for reimbursement requests, for example. So whenever your request is approved or not, it's going to leave one phase and move into another one. So let's say the request was approved, your process is going to continue going. So it's going to be moved into the next phase. But if it's not approved, it can be moved into an archived phase or rejected phase, for example. And we want to make the requester aware of what's happening with their request. So we can let them know whenever the card moved into a next phase, we can let them know that the request was approved, or we can let them know that it was rejected whenever it gets into that phase as well. So what are the benefits about this feature actually? It's pretty good to replace manual work because we'll have this email ready and it will replace the dynamic info automatically by the card's fields. You can avoid a lot of operational mistakes when you're typing the email actually. And obviously, you're going to be able to focus on other activities that deliver more value to the company. So you can do all that automatically and customizing, being able to include your logo and other images and customizing the client's name and email and other things. So let me configure one email template with you guys so then you know how to do by yourself as well. So I'm going to do that in the expense reimbursement. So basically you're going to notice here that this process in our start form, we have like, okay, what's your name? What's your email? What did you spend on? How much? And a few other questions. And then you're going to notice exactly as I mentioned, we have an approval phase that we can either approve or not. And then whenever we approve, we can move into a payment phase, if not approved, to the archive. So I want to let them know whenever it is approved and go into the payment phase. So when we are setting up an email template, we're going to divide that in two parts. Before anything, we need to build this email template. And then after that, we're going to set up inside a phase to say when we're sending this email. So first of all, we're going to click here on the settings button on the right corner. We're going to scroll down until you get to email templates. And then here we're going to have the option to create a new email template. And that's the page that it's going to come up. I'm going to delete all that because here are just examples of letters and how you can build an email template. And the first thing I'm going to do is type in the name of my email template. So nobody's going to see that. It's only for us to control which email template is this one. So it's going to be approved request. And then what's the subject of my email? So that's the subject that is going to be sent to whoever requested. So I can either do reimbursement reimbursement request update. Or I can also use a dynamic content. So for example, I can do reimbursement request update, reimbursement request for, I can remove the update, reimbursement request for, then we can say whatever they requested the reimbursement for. So here on the left side, I'm gonna pick where the information is. And here on the right side, I'm gonna pick what's the field. So on the left side, I'm gonna pick the start form because that's the place that they filled in what they spent on. And then here on the left, I'm gonna pick what did you spend on. So that's gonna be the field. You're gonna notice that is gonna create a handlebar that's gonna be a code for this specific field. So I'm gonna copy and paste up here. So reimbursement request for whatever they spent on. And then down here, we're gonna work basically the same way. That's how we're gonna pick it up all the dynamic content from our process. So first of all, let's say that I wanna include our logo in the email template. So how am I gonna do that? So the first thing I'm gonna do is click up here and I'm gonna paste the link to my image. So every time you have an image on a website, if you click with the right click of your mouse, you're gonna notice that you're able to copy the address to that image, and then it's gonna pop up all this code here, and you're gonna notice here on the preview that you have the Pipefy logo. So if I wanna come up here and just customize so I know what's that about, I'm gonna do Pipefy logo. And then down here, we can just start typing in our email. So for example, hello, and then I wanna say the name of the requester. So the name of the requester is going to be on the start form, and we do have a field asking for their name. So I'm going to copy and paste up here. So hello, requester. And then I'm going to say your request was approved. Let me fix that. Your request was approved. Okay, perfect. So if you look down here, you can see the preview. I'm gonna just type in it. Thank you. And then we can go ahead and save this email template. Okay, so basically now we already have the email template built. And then now we need to tell to Pipefy when it's supposed to send, because we didn't do that yet. So basically I'm gonna come up here to the payment phase, and I'm gonna edit this phase. I'm gonna scroll down until I find email template, and I'm gonna set up a new email template. So up here, I can pick which email template I want to use. I'm going to use the approved request. That's the one that we just set up together. So I already filled in some information. So from which name you want to send that email template. So this is the information that it's going to show for who is receiving the email. So we can either put, for example, finance team, or we can do a dynamic content as well. So let's say I want to use the name of the assignee of the card, who is responsible for that card. I'm going to come down here, go to assignees, and pick it up their name. So I'm going to copy and paste up here. And then here, from which email I want to send this email template. So whenever the person responds to that email, if that happens, that's going to be the two email that going to receive the response. So I usually like a lot to use the card's email because each card has a different email address. So for example, if I send the email from the card being here. Whenever the person responds to that email, it's gonna come up the response inside the card again. So I'm gonna show you that. So how do I get this information? Same way, come down here, go to card, and then what's the email of the card? Then I got this code and I paste up here. And then also to email for who I'm sending to. So I basically want to send to the requester. So that information is going to be on start form, and email I'm going to copy and paste here. But if I want to send to more than one person, so for example, I want to send to the requester or also to their manager, or I also want to send to the same email address. So for example, I want to send to myself. I'm going to put a comma and the other email address, pipefy.com. And then I'm just going to separate that by comma and no space. But I'm only going to send that for who requested. And then now down here, it's when I'm going to tell to Pipefy when it's supposed to be sent. So you can always send it automatically, manually, and automatically if you set up. So I want to send whenever the card enters the phase payment, because it left the approval phase and got into the payment phase. So whenever it enters the phase, it's going to trigger and send this email template. So that's when I'm going to set up. I'm going to go ahead and save. So we can go back to our process. And I'm going to get this card here that you're going to notice that I have the assignee right here, and it's Bill Gates. And it says here that Daniela is the creator. Here is the email address. What did I spend on? It was dinner. And how much it cost. So I'm saying, okay, it's approved. And I'm going to move into the payment phase. So here's my card. If I click on it, you're going to notice up here, email template, that the email was already sent. So now we can go to my personal email and see how that looks like. Okay, so here's the email I just got. Then it shows that Bill Gates sent. And here's the title. So reimbursement requests for dinner. Remember that we put this as a dynamic content. Let me open up. So here it shows really big the logo. Actually, we can fix that, and it shows, hello Daniela, your request was approved and thank you. And then if we respond to this email and say thank you for approving, we can go ahead and respond. You're going to notice that the response is going to come back to be inside the card. So let's go back to Pipefy. Now back to Pipefy. If we get back to our card here, we're going to notice that we received an email. And that's where the response is sent together. Thank you for approving. It's going to be right here inside my card. So the other option we have is sending that email manually, that we're only gonna click on it and send, besides send it automatically. So if I go up here on email template and then click on new, I can send it again, approved request. It's gonna say send the same email template to the same person and everything for the second time. So it's basically this. If you guys have any other questions, how to build an email template, how you can use that, feel free to contact our team using our support chat right up here on the right corner, and they will be able to help you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.